Hello, my name is Nicole Jones, and my presentation is on the benefits and effectiveness of teaching reading to teach talking in children with Down syndrome. Down syndrome is probably the most common genetic condition. About 5,000 babies are born with Down syndrome each year in the U.S. alone. Children with Down syndrome face many intellectual challenges. Solid intervention and high-quality instruction have been proven to lead to improved academic achievement. One of the first steps in overcoming these challenges is learning to read. Children with Down syndrome benefit from being read to and taking part in reading instruction from an early age. Research has shown that reading will help children with Down syndrome to develop vocabulary and grammar and will improve spoken language skills. For most children with Down syndrome, language comprehension is better than language production. This means that children with Down syndrome can understand more than they can say. This may be due to a variety of issues, such as problems with word retrieval, sentence structuring, and speech motor control. Children with Down syndrome learn to read in typically the same way as other developing children, by building on their good memory skills. However, children with Down syndrome find it more difficult to use phonics, so they benefit instead from using a whole word learning strategy. For children, their auditory memory is better than their visual memory. However, this is the opposite for a child with Down syndrome. Their visual memory may be more effective than their auditory memory. A number of studies have shown that children with Down syndrome perform better when tasks are presented visually rather than auditory. I will now give some examples of activities that can be used in implementing the teaching reading to teach talking method. I will first introduce flashcards with simple words written on each one. These are known as sight words. Before I begin, it is important to keep a few points in mind. Remember to teach whole words first, as teaching phonics to children with Down syndrome comes later. It is best to start with familiar words such as dad, or mom, or a sibling's name. Begin with something the child is interested in. Children with Down syndrome often take a keen interest in one or a few subjects. For example, if you have a child that likes dogs very much, you can use this theme to help make lessons appealing to them. It is also important to use words in which short sentences can be built, such as I or is or the. Now, these flashcards are probably a little different than what you usually see in teaching children to read. A typical flashcard may look something like this. They have a word on the bottom with a picture corresponding to that word. This association between picture and word may help a typical learner to learn to read, but for a child with Down syndrome, the picture may distract them. Separating the pictures from the text is probably the most important feature. Research has shown that placing words and pictures on the same visual field can actually delay reading in a child with Down syndrome because the child is easily distracted from the text and focuses instead on the picture. So instead we use these flashcards with the print in red to direct the child's attention towards the word. There is also something called the fast flash method, which has been proven to be quite effective. By flashing the cards quickly, the child's interest is held. The brain of a child, including children with Down syndrome, prefers to learn quickly, and retention is dramatically improved.